Hello everybody, this is Andy Kamation from FabTech 2024 in Chicago, Illinois. So I'm showing you this beautiful Bendmak plate roll today. This is our CY4R, a 4-roll 330 3016. So that all means that it is a 10-foot, half-inch capable 4-roll rolling machine, and it is equipped with CNC controls on this machine. So I just want to take a quick walk around it, get a look at the machine itself and all of the accessories. You'll see the cable safety line below. That is just a line that is tripped by an operator for safety, stops the hydraulics, stops the machine, and makes it very safe to operate. And it's also very easy to maintain that safety, so it's not in the way like a lot of safety devices are that just interrupt the machine itself. This machine and many other machines like it in various sizes are available from stock out of Tampa, Florida with Bendmak USA. I'm going to show you a little bit more about this 4-roll plate roll and talk a little bit about its functionality. So first off, one thing that you notice is the control is a CNC control. You've got this beautiful touchscreen monitor, ability to see our profile in 3D and be able to run our part in conjunction with that, see what our results going to be. The control does take a lot of guesswork out of rolling material. But if we don't want to use the CNC, if we just want to run it as a manual machine, on a manual control, we would have most of the same series of switches and buttons that you see here, but we would also have a digital readout, a small LCD panel that would give us the roll positions for digital readout. So a lot of operators, a lot of customers like the manual machine, and that's certainly available as well. But the CNC does take a lot of guesswork out of roll positions, as well as being able to roll out of round, or being able to roll in production environment where it repeats on a constant basis. But a really great machine. So I'll go over with real quick the switches of operation here. We have our on-off master switch for control. Can't do anything if that's in the off position, so we'll turn that on. Our reset button every time we've got an error alarm or we've kicked the safety cable. We just need to reset the control to get that cleared. We have our pause switch to just pause the program in whatever position it's in. A good example where I would use that would be I'm stopping to check the radius that's being formed. We have our continue button to continue the operation. You're going to use the continue and start button when we run a program. We use the start button to start the program, and then the continue button after the rolls reach the loading position and we've loaded material into the machine. We have our auto select button. We can switch between manual mode and auto mode. So if I go just to manual mode, I can operate the machine manually just from the buttons and switches that you see here for the various roll positions. One other feature I'll mention on here, as you see some switches set up, is that all of our machines are equipped, all of the 4-roll machines are equipped for the addition of overhead supports and side supports, and I'll show that too, just walking around the machine. You've got the ability down here to just bolt on the side support, and the hydraulics are already pre-plumbed, so it does not require a field service visit, as well as the overhead support. The electrics and plumbing are also pre-wired and pre-plumbed for the overhead support. So if that is something that needs to be added later or is part of the initial purchase, it's a simple bolt-on operation for that field retrofit. You'll see some of those switches here that won't be functional without that option or that attachment added. The other switch you see here is a switch called calibration. Calibration is a process that we do at Bendmak on our floor roll machines, where we're going to roll the flat out of a part. And how we do that is that bottom roll drops away and the two side rolls come in very tightly, pinching the material, rolling the flat out of a piece of material. So calibration mode is the way to get rid of that tailing flat. After you've rolled a piece of material, you've welded it, ground that weld down, and you've got that back on the machine to get it much better, get it into a much better radius. Next set of buttons over here are the off, hydraulics off and on. And I'm going to go ahead and turn those on so I can show you a few of the other features. The next switch is the end support drop. So what this will do is drop the end support off the end of the top roll, and then once it reaches the down position, it will raise the top roll up to make loading and unloading, or make unloading, excuse me, of a rolled shell much easier. So I'll just switch that on. So there we are in unloading position for a floor roll. They all sizes work the same, very easy to do, just by that one switch. I'll switch that back, we'll put the rolls back in position. Important to note that when you're operating a Bendmak, you cannot drop that yoke down without the bottom roll in the fully lowered position. So it's got to be all the way down in order for that to work. Some of the other features that we see on the machine, you've got a set of buttons here for the side supports. Again, this machine is not equipped for that, so we don't have that functionality here. We do have the next set of buttons over here for the bottom roll. This would be our A roll. So if you look at, see the A number, as I press that button in, I can manually move this roll up to a squaring position, a bending position, or whatever I choose. I also have a switch here to turn on where I can move that roll out of square. So if I want to roll cones, for example, that's what I would do. I would roll that roll out of square and put it in a cone rolling operation. So I'll move that back to the square position and drop it down. Another feature on the control we have here is variable rolling speed. This is an option, but variable rolling is something that is pretty important when you get into the larger size machines. You're rolling large shells. You want to control the speed that rolling is happening at. Without that, the machine rolls at a constant speed. With it, you're able to infinitely adjust it all the way from almost zero up to its maximum rated speed. Middle button, we don't have that option on this machine. That's the overhead support. That would raise or lower that overhead support. And of course, these two buttons are primary rolling buttons. So if I initiate these, our top and bottom driven rolls are in motion. Another feature on this control is the alarm. You've got an alarm button for the CNC machine, and that's just going to tell you when the machine is ready to be loaded. So when we start a program, the machine will get into loading position, and then it will set off this alarm saying that it is, ready to be loaded by us, and we'll go through that in just a moment. Next set of switches over is the bottom roll. So typically I'm going to push that button up to move my bottom roll. It moves fairly slowly, but it is moving. And I'm going to move that all the way up to a pinch position. So I would set the pressure right on the pressure gauge of what pressure that I want that bottom roll to push against the top roll with, and also what pressure that I want the rolls to operate at. So I can set both of those pressures. Just like the side roll, the bottom roll has a switch to get it out of square, so I can move that out of a square position. You see that roll at the end moving out. So for angles, it would be, excuse me, for cones, it would be the way to position that. So I also have the same operation for the right roll, to be able to move it up and down, and also move it out of squares for cone rolling. The last set of buttons over here is for the side support for the right hand side, and of course your emergency stop button.